Computer and Information Technology from Department of Technology, Savitribai Phule, Pune University in 2022. Currently, he has he is associated with Army Institute of Technology as associate professor in Department of Computer Engineering. Until 2015, he worked at Government Polytechnic Pune as a lecturer. He was a research intern at Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC), headquarter Pune. He has been associated with the academic and research profession for the last 12 years. He is principal investigator of National Research Project worth 4.7 Cr and co-investigator for the grant of 12.5 crores. He has fetched four FDP and STTP grant of worth 12.08 lakhs and consultancy of 3 lakh from AICT and RUSA. Recently, he has been felicitated by Honorable Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, for the Best Teaching Employee and Best R&D Award of AIT for the academic year 2023. He was previously awarded as a top 5 performer of AIT and 2 Best Research Paper Awards. Till now, he has delivered 40 plus expert talks in and outside Maharashtra at various levels. Also attended 35 plus workshops and 8 plus reputed conferences. He is a certified cybercrime investigation officer and received prestigious doctoral membership from the Academy of Criminal Justice Science from USA. Dr. Sagar Rane was a recipient of prestigious Sahara Welfare Foundation Fellowship. His current research interest is information security, digital forensics, blockchain, and access management. I request Dr. Sagar Rane to please start with the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the generous introduction. I hope I'm audible to all of you and my slides are visible. Let me check whether they are changing or not.
Yes, sir.
Can you?
Changing and visible. Yeah.
Great, great. Okay. So, a very good afternoon to all. At the outset, I would like to take this opportunity and thanks the AIT management for giving me chance to speak on this trending topic, that is ammunition management using blockchain technology. This is the trending technology nowadays. When I say so, I mean it because this is the platform that has been created to learn, share, exchange each other's ideas, thoughts, and knowledge. So what I'm going to tell you about next about 90 minutes is what blockchain technology is. Being an organizer, I know you guys are from various backgrounds, right? From mechanical, electronics, electrical, civil. I know there are a lot of cadre that are available over here. So I'll start with the basic introduction of this technology, that is blockchain, and slowly and gradually we will come to the integration of this into very uh, keen topic of defense, and that is ammunition management. So that's how this session will be. Let me tell you, today I forgot. So today is holiday for us, so I forgot to take my camera at home, and that's why I'm unable to switch on my camera. But I know that you are daily looking at me, so you know me very well. That is one thing. Second, I am keeping mic on, so you can anytime stop me, and you can ask the questions in between as well. And at the later at the end of the session, we will have a question answering session. Okay, so with this note, let's begin with the today's session. If you look at the outline, um, I'm going to tell you two interesting stories. These stories are very close to my heart. These stories are interesting but what we can derive out of these stories is even more interesting. So try to listen these stories very carefully so that you will get a gist of what blockchain is and what is the need of this technology in today's world. So the first half will be on what is blockchain, how blockchain works, what are the building blocks of this technology, and in the second half, I'm going to talk on how ammunition management system works and how we can integrate this trending technology into AMS, that is ammunition management system, and the way ahead, the implementation roadmap for that, and then we will take the question answering round. Okay, so that's how it has been planned. If you look at this beautiful picture, this picture is um, of two guys like um, ours. So they are, assume that they are professors, Mr. White and Mr. Blue. So after the examination, they had the vacations and they are planning to go to Venice. So Venice is a very beautiful city in the northern Italy. Okay, there are very beautiful small island over there. So both of them, they are as they are very good friends, they plan to go to Venice in the northern Italy. So to go over there, they planned everything. They planned their residence, their food, the shopping, clothes, everything has been done, and now they are in a situation to book the ticket. So coincidentally, they land upon a online ticket booking, flight booking platform where they can book the ticket. Now, this platform, interestingly, were offering 20% discount for first 10 visitors. So the persons who will register over there will get a 20% discount on their ticket, and that is for first 10 visitors. So both of them started taking the benefit of this. Mr. White is very techie guy. He known he known to current technologies, and he has good networks in the booking and everything. So somehow he was able to book the ticket with his own experiences and knowledge and network that he has. On the other hand, Mr. Blue is Dadiwala guy, little aged. He don't have much knowledge of this domain. He is not aware of latest technologies that are there, and that's how somehow he was unable to book the ticket. So this is the scenario. If you can see, Mr. White was able to get the 20% discount by making a registration and booking a ticket, and Mr. Blue was not able to do that. Now, taking this scenario into the consideration, I request all of you to think for a while and just let me know what are the probable things that may happen with Mr. Blue, and that's why he was unable to book the ticket. Whatever things that are coming in your mind, you can just say it. Either you can put those things into the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can tell us. Anybody? So the question is, I hope the question is clear. The question is, what are the things, uh, technological, uh, anything that is coming in your mind due to which this transaction may fail, or whenever you tried such a things at your own premises, maybe there are so many reasons due to which it got failed. So any ideas, any thoughts that are coming in your mind? Okay, okay. So let me
Hello.
yes, sir.
One is that the site would have got denial of service, something like hacking would have taken place when
Okay,
Blue was trying. That is one thing, and internet speed is the could be other reason.
okay, okay.
So.
Good answer. So I
Uh,
can sense two things from your answer. One is the attack, and he specifically talked about a denial of service attack, which can be made on that website, and due to
uh,
which, yeah,
There is the site would get flooded and the server maybe not able to handle by that airline company. So that is
understood.
another.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the help of denial of service or DDoS, distributed denial of service, that website may go down, and due to which the second Mr. Blue was not able to access the website and was not able to book the ticket. That is one thing that Mr. Gopin. There are there are bunch of things that may happen during this period. The one way we can see is the technical issue at servers, website servers end, or airlines servers end, and due to which the transaction was not happened. Second is right now currently we are using money like rupees and dollars to make the transaction. So if your daily limit or transfer limit is got exceeded, probably you will not be able to make the transaction at this point of time. If any hacker is sitting behind the scene who is stealing your information and interrupting your transaction, probably this would not reach to the main airline server, and due to which the transaction was not happened. And this all of can take a lot of time, efforts, and finance, money, right? So if you look at uh, the second half is basically of Mr. White, where he used the cryptocurrency. I'll come to this point again, what crypto and what currency means. Use this, well, let's take a word virtual currency, uh, which which don't have any limit on the transaction, any number of transaction that we can make, and at any given uh, point of time. So there is no any barriers like from night, in the night duration we can make the transaction or not. Probably on the holidays we can make the transaction or not. The limit of the transaction like 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs or something like that. Okay, so that whole scenario is going aside with the help of this virtual currency, and all the records are getting maintained with the help of this currency, like who does the transaction to whom and when. All of these records are getting maintained into the ledger. Okay, and that's how Mr. Um, White, who is keen into the latest technologies, use this. So, curiously, why? Let me tell you guys why I'm telling this story to you, because there is lot of things that are coming out of these stories, and you will get to know about this technology as well. Okay, so please concentrate. As they are good friends, Mr. Blue asked Mr. White, "Hey, what cryptocurrency is, and since when it has been in use? I am not aware of that." So Mr. White started explaining calmly that this technology has been invented in 2007 around. There was a first paper, research paper published on the internet, that is Bitcoin peer-to-peer transaction system by the author Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the inventor of this technology. And from 2009 to 13, it was in the research phase, and from 2013, people are using this cryptocurrency in their day-to-day life. So whenever I'm saying cryptocurrency, it's actually a virtual currency available digital in nature. Crypto means cryptographic primitives that are involved, and currency means our normal currency. It has a value, right? So both the things are there into this word. Now he has started explaining this currency actually works on the technology called blockchain. Okay, and whatever we can do with the help of normal currency that we have, like we can buy or sell anything, like goods or any material, that we can do with the help of cryptocurrency as well, or Bitcoin as well. Now again, he started asking curiously, I have lot of applications in my mobile. Like me, my mobile is also smart. I have GPay, I have PhonePe, I have PayPal, I have Bheem app. Lot of applications are there. They are also online apps. So what is so special into this cryptocurrency, and that's why you were able to manage the ticket. So again, Mr. White explained that these are the apps which are beautifully designed, but they works on centralized systems. Again, I'm repeating, they works on centralized system. They are not decentralized in nature. And that's how this second technology, blockchain, is actually a peer-to-peer transaction system where one peer like me can connect with any peer in the world and transfer the money without having a middleman. Now, to understand this concept, let me give you a different example. How we do a transaction in our day-to-day life, right? How we transfer our money. Nowadays, everyone has these apps, right? So if we have GPay, I am transferring, Sagar is transferring 100 rupees to Dr. Dhore. Okay. So 100 rupees, who is transferring? Sagar to whom? Dr. Dhore, right? So this transaction, how this transaction happens? Any idea? Who makes possible this transaction in the current scenario? So we have banks. We have a bank system governed by RBI, right? So these are actually managing your transaction. Let me deep dive into it. So every like yesterday also, Mr. Nilesh Dhande took decision on identity. So there is an identity associated with every user. So you are a user. So you have lot of attributes, like you have your phone number, you have your email ID, your bank details. Everything is with the banks. Okay. So whenever you are making a transaction, the request goes to bank. Bank checks all the details of sender and receiver, and if they are correct, they process that transaction to a respective user. Okay. So what I am trying to say over here is the banks are responsible to make the transaction in the current scenario. But on the other hand, the technology that we are talking about, there is no any middleman. That means if I can transfer anything 100 rupees to Dr. Dhore, it will directly reach to Dr. Dhore. There is no any middleman in between. Is this possible? Yes, this is possible with the help of blockchain technology in the current scenario. So Mr. Blue again started explaining how it works without the control of the external authority. So this virtual currency, which is available digital in nature, works on the blockchain technology, and everything like who made the transaction to whom at what time, everything is getting recorded onto these blocks, and these blocks are tamper proof. The meaning of tamper proof means we cannot alter, modify, update, delete them. And as they are working on this blockchain technology, the ledger is getting maintained, and that's how the first guy, Mr. White, was able to book the ticket without any issues. Okay, so this was the first story. So the moral of the story is the systems where trust is required. Again, I'm repeating, the systems, the processes where trust is required, this technology can be heavily used. And the examples are, you can see on the screen itself. Have you heard Me Too, PayPal, Google, Microsoft? You just name it and you will have it. All of these giants are actually um, adopting this technology, investing their money into this technology, and day by day, the community of this technology is growing. Let me give you a popular example. In the northern Italy itself, there is a island called Malta. It's a beautiful island. So this island has been declared as a blockchain island over there. You can just search on the Google as well. You will get the information about it. In 2018, it happened. And the most popular cryptocurrencies, I don't know, those who are working in the crypto domain probably would heard these two important cryptocurrency names, that is Binance and OKX. These are the popular one nowadays. So these are the outcome and the products of this island. So they have set up a complete government over there, and they are sponsoring the industries who are adopting this technology. You can see the wide adoption of it in the domain. Let me tell you the second scenario, and then we will quickly go through what this technology is. We will deep dive into it. Now,
Rane sir,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you, but can I ask one question related to the current example you are citing right now?
yeah, go ahead, sir.
Uh, Sir, as you said, now currently the one country is totally working on the cryptocurrency. So, but as per my knowledge, cryptocurrencies are whatever the minings are done, and the cryptocurrencies are generating, and their limit is fixed. Okay, so government, every country, the government issues the new currency depending upon whatever the gold reserve they have in their own country. So, is there any limitation or tracking between these two is not possible? What I know. So, how to do that? The
Okay.
matlab, valuation of the gold and generation of the currency both are independent of each other.
Yeah, I understood your question. Let me try to attempt that. So every government, so in any country, every citizen have rights to create their own currency. How they can create? With the help of, as you said, with the help of mining process. Okay, they can generate the currency. Now your question is, there are some cities where governance is there onto this cryptocurrency, so they are offering and they are allowing people to use and generate such a currency. But there are a lot of countries who still reluctant to adopt this currency. Now, whenever you are saying the basics of, like, it is based on the goal that they have, so I would extend that, and I would say it's a supply and demand problem. So if more number of people will come and generate their own currencies with the help of this mining process, if supply is more, probably the value of that will be less, and if supply is less, probably the value of that will be high. So it will be depend on that, and the number of users that are using those currency will also matter. And that's how, like our share market, normal share market that is happening, it is pretty much similar to that. So value will come down or up based on supply and demand problem. That's my uh, answer.
No, sir, whatever the currency every government is authorized to print
Hmm?
is depending upon the gold reserve the country have.
Hmm?
So if you go for the cryptocurrency based country, so
Hmm?
whatever the printing or hard currency you have, that will be get eliminated, and whole country will work on the cryptocurrency. And as you know, you can mine your cryptocurrency at your home with the help of mobile also.
Correct.
So in that case, then it is very difficult for that country to track the gold reserve and generate the new currency, because if it happens, then the valuation of that currency itself goes down, and there will be lot of poverty take place in that country. So
Agreed.
so
I'm
I think it will not sustain in coming future. Maybe cryptocurrency is the option, one of the option for the currency, but it may not be a total currency which can run that country.
Yeah, I understood your point. Let me tell you about that. Key, that's how whatever you said, that's absolutely right. So as there is no government hold on generation of this currency and use of this currency and actual what we can say tally of that currency, that's how people are reluctant and the countries are reluctant to adopt that. But apart from currency, just keep this currency aside, it is a byproduct of this technology called blockchain. Now this technology has lot of uh, applications uh, in the current scenarios. If you take insurance, if you take medical field, if you take land registry, there are a lot of fields where the fields where trust is required, this technology is getting used. Now, on top of that, whenever we need such a currency, that model is getting changed over the period of time. The algorithms that are working on top of that, they are also getting evolved. So this area is still in the research phase, I would say. So that's how I would not say like it will make country poor, but it depends on how that country is adopting this technology and what purpose they are adopting. That's how it will work. That is my point of view. Look at this.
Okay, sir, we will discuss it separately. You please continue your presentation.
So if you look at this second scenario where uh, two guys wants to communicate with each other, okay. So whenever I'm saying communication, they wants to transfer some amount of money to each other without having these apps like the wallets or banks or third party application. Is it possible to do that in the current scenario? No, it is not possible. But with the help of blockchain, it can be possible. Okay, so how it can be possible? With the help of mining process that we talked about, right? So this is the another example that I wanted to tell you. It is very pretty much similar to previous one. These are four students: Jack, Tate, Sam, and Phil. Okay, they after the examination they plan to go for a dinner, and like we do generally TTMM, tu tera me mera. So they have decided to share this amount equally. So initially Jack paid the bill in the restaurant, but now the rest of the three guys are trying to pay their share to Jack. So whenever they were paying this share to Jack, Phil was able to make that transaction, but the Sam and Ted, they were unable to make this transaction happen. Okay, so if you look at this picture, okay, I got some point for Professor Zavale's question. Let me tell you, Professor Zavale, there is a strategy that has been released by Indian government, and that is blockchain adoption strategy. So the blockchain strategy for India. It has been released in 21, 22, I think so. If you can have time, you can just Google it. And that's how I wanted to say, as a technology, the governments are started adopting this thing. Yeah. So coming to this point, if you look at uh, in this example also, uh, there is a middleman called banks who are actually processing this transaction, and that's how that transaction may fail. Okay, but there are so many ways for that. We have already discussed these things, like there may be the technical issue, there may be the account hacking, there may be the transfer limits issues, and all of these actually takes high amount of money or high transfer charges. Okay, but thanks to blockchain, uh, we have this technology with us which can make this possible. In simple terms, it's a collection of blocks which will have the records, and they are connected with each other, and they are tamper proof, they are strongly resistant for alteration, and they are protected with the help of cryptography. Now, in yesterday's session, Mr. Dhande explained very well what is the um, use of cryptography in the current world. Okay, so that's how blockchain is. Now, with this definition, probably you will not be able to understand what it means, those who are not from CS background. So I have taken some of the animations, beautiful animations, which will tell you how blockchain works and what blockchain is. So it's a by definition, if you look at, it's a database that is shared across the network of computers. Whenever I'm saying a database, you can just imagine the example of MySQL or Cassandra or anything. There are a lot of database available nowadays. But there is a special thing into this, and this is it is shared across the network of computers. So if we have a 10 computers with us, this database will get shared across 10 computers. Each computer will have a copy of that database. Okay, so if you are considering the list of students in your class, probably all 60 student class list will reside into these 10 computers. That is the meaning of that. Second point is, once a record has been added to the chain, it is very difficult to change it. Okay, it is very difficult to modify. So addition is possible, but updation and deletion, these properties are not possible with this technology. So who does this job? So to ensure all the copies of the database are same, the network itself makes some constant checks. So whenever I'm saying networks, nodes um, makes constant checks for them, and they actually preserve these uh, consistency between all of these. So blockchains have been used to underpin various applications in the current scenario. As I said, it is getting used in insurance. I think someone's mic is open. Let's check that.
Yeah, I'll check.
Datrek sir is there. Just I muted him. Okay. Coming back to, yeah. So if you take a scenario like land registry, current land registry frauds, insurance, medical, there are like uh, so many in academics. There are so many areas where this technology is getting used drastically. Okay, there are tremendous amount of applications. Now let's deep dive into it and understand what this means. So whenever I'm saying blockchain, what block is, what is record is, and how it builds a chain. So let me take a simple scenario. Whenever I'm saying I want to send some money to someone, for example, Sagar is sending some money to Dr. Dore, for example, 100 rupees. So this transaction can be considered as a record. That is the one record that we can consider. Second, any deal between two parties. For example, I have a piece of land. I want to sell that for 20 lakh rupees. So this is a deal between two parties. and if that transaction happens, that can be considered as a record. Third, if I am taking selfie in AIT college, okay, that selfie is a picture in the JPG format, that can be considered as a record. Tomorrow I have a NAC or NBA document that I want to secure, that can be considered as a record. The thing I wanted to say over here is the digital thing that you want to secure can be considered as a record. So it can be any information, any deal, anything which is available digital in nature called a record. Now, collection of such a records, if you can observe onto the screen, collection of such a records actually generates the block. So you can see the white record on this complete block, and like this white block there are number of records that are available. So the bundle of records generates a block. Okay, and now whenever we will connect such a blocks with each other, okay, it will create a chain. Okay, and that's how the word came into picture, blockchain, collection of blocks. That's how it creates a chain with the help of cryptographic primitives. We are going to see those. So that's how blockchain gets created. Now, what is inside things of a single block? If you look at this is my single block. So there are three important things. First is data. So whenever I'm saying data, the example that we talked about, the example of NBA NAC record, my photograph in the JPG format, my transaction, anything that I want to secure can be considered as a record and data. That will be the first thing. Second, I will take a hash of that will reside as a second component. Okay. So what is a hash? If you have any data available digital in nature, if we hash that, it will generate a fixed number of length of string. The string, it is actually a hexadecimal number which can be used for various purposes. So that is a hash value. Okay, that we can apply on the data. It's actually a mathematical function which generates a fixed number of length of string. I'll show you the example of that. And the third thing and very important thing is hash of a previous block. So previous block to this green block, whatever block is there, we will take a hash of this into this. That's how with this mechanism, all blocks are getting connected with each other. Okay. Now let me tell you the example to recall the record that are considered, the data that has been considered in this scenario. So there are two guys in this picture. You can see Mr. Pink and Mr. Green. Assume that. Now, Mr. Pink have very ancient coins. Okay, very old, ancient, and valued coins, two pink coins. He wanted to sell them to Mr. Green for 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 each. Okay, Mr. Green is habitual to collect such a coins and keep in his old box. Okay, so that's how they have made a deal between each other, and this can be considered as a record. So that's what I wanted to say you. Okay, so this can be considered as a record in this scenario, right? Now whenever I'm talking about data, so I already explained this slide, from whom that data is coming, to whom, and what was the amount, the transaction that we talked about, the hash. If we apply a mathematical function on top of that data, it will generate such a hash. So this is actually a hexadecimal number, combination of 0 to 9 and A to F. Okay, which is unique like our thumbprint. Okay, हमारे thumbprints कैसे होते हैं? They are unique in nature. Okay, they are not similar, and that's how Aadhaar system are using our thumbprints, right? So this is the hash value for that data. And the third thing, okay, so let me explain this as well. If anyone tries to modify or alter this information, probably the hash value will get changed. So you can see this. This is getting changed, right? If we can match that with the previous, both the things are completely different. Okay, so any modification, alteration into the data will result into the completely different hash. What I'm trying to say, whenever you modify that data, that new data will be given to hash function, and hash function will generate a value on that. If we are modifying the data, hash value, of course, hash value will be different. If you are taking some another person to give a thumbprint instead of the authorized person, probably their thumbprints will not match. Okay, maybe face is pretty much similar, but thumbprints will not match. So that's how analogy is. So this whole scenario actually works on the basic data structure called Merkle tree. Okay, so it's a structure like a binary tree, if you can see and understand. So on the leaf side, if you can see, these are all records, these small records. So small records, the example that we have seen, maybe it's an image, maybe it's a document, maybe it's an NBA work that you have, maybe it's a transaction, anything that you want to secure will be on the leaf side. We will take a in this technology, we will take a hash of those, so you can see the hash of each data that we have. Okay, so once we have two transactions, probably it will generate a intermediate node. Okay, again, it's a mathematical function in between those. So we will take this as a data, and this is the output. Okay, similarly, we will evaluate this for all the nodes, and we will get some root node. Okay, which is actually called as a Merkle root in the blockchain system. Okay, so the whole system works behind this data structure. Okay, and the third important thing is hash of the previous block. So whatever block is there previously to the current block, the hash of that will get stored into the new block whenever it is getting created. So that's how the chain is getting maintained. Okay, now till this point, what we have seen, how the blocks are getting created. Now how they go into the network and how the network accept that. Okay, that we are going to see. So in this picture you can see there are nodes means machines that are available. Okay, there are a number of nodes that you can see in this picture. It's combinedly called as a network. Okay, and this record, I want to store them on all of these nodes. So how it is going, the split check, and it is getting stored onto all the nodes that are there. Okay, and it is getting accepted. Now how, when it is getting accepted, I'll tell you in the further slides. So how addition of the records is happening uh, uh, on the block. So this is how it is happening. Okay, a single record is getting stored onto the block like this. There are number of records that are there. We have seen the structure of Merkle tree. So like this record, there are multiple records. We will tick hash of each record, and ultimately we will get a root hash for this single block. Okay, so in this single block there are records. At one side it will generate a hash of this record, and at one side it will take the hash of a previous block. Okay, now how addition of the block on the blockchain happens. Okay, so if we have this block and hash of the previous block, what happens? Okay, if both the hashes are matching, previous block hash and this, then we will be able to generate a chain, and that's how blockchain is getting created. I hope these animations are helping you to understand this technology, those who are very new to this. And understanding of these fundamentals are very important to look at the application of ammunition management using blockchain. Okay, so the very key concept that you can see uh, in the last few slides is hash. So hash is a cryptographic primitive that is getting used in the blockchain, and the whole blockchain works on the hashing mechanism. And that's why Mr. Nilesh Dhande was talking about the post-quantum things, right? In the current scenario, with the evolution of quantum computing, the public and private keys and even these hash values are actually breakable. That's why we need to be prepared for quantum safe algorithms, quantum safe generation of signatures in this domain, in the crypto domain specifically. Okay, so let me tell you what this means and what it is. If you look at this simple tweet, this is a tweet by Jack. So Jack is saying, just setting up my Twitter. These are 5 words that you can see over here. If we provide these 5 words to a mathematical function, okay, it will give you 32-byte hash. It's a Jack tweet. Hash of that is this. It's a combination of 0 to 9 and A to F. It's a hexadecimal number. Why 32 byte? 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, right? 8 bits multiplied by 32 agar karge, what will be the value? It's a 256. So SHA, secure hash algorithm, has this 256-bit value. That's how the hash value will get generated. Let me tell you this second example, and that's why you will understand the properties of hashing as well. This is the second example. It's a book of War and Peace. It's assume that it's a 200 pages book, each page having around 100 words. Now, if this book available digitally in nature, and if I take a hash of this, it will again generate this 256-bit number only, which is 32 byte. What I am trying to say over here is, guys, irrespective of the data size of the input, this hashing algorithm will generate fixed number of length of string. Okay, and that is this value. If we see the previous example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 words were there. Currently, I have a complete book of 200 pages. Each page is having around 100 words. Now imagine the difference between these two. Now, let me tell you another example. Probably you have seen or experienced these things whenever you downloaded your OS, Linux OS or Windows OS. Whenever you download these now, probably you will be able to see some value at left hand side or the right hand side. Okay, so these values are actually the hash values. So once you upload this onto website or anywhere, we put a hash value of that. In case any modification, if an attacker wants to inject any malicious code or anything into that, probably the hash value data will get changed and ultimately hash values will get changed, and that's how you can recognize that. Okay, so it's good practice whenever you are downloading the software from any of the website, please check, apply the hash values and check whether those hash values given onto the website and whatever you are getting at your end are matching or not. That's how you can see that whether they are authentic or not. That's the meaning of it. This was the first property. What was the first property? First property was irrespective of the data side, it will generate a fixed number of length of string. Second important thing is, if we modify anything into this data, it will result into completely different hash. What it means, if we modify anything of this information, anything, single dot if I am putting over here now, it will completely change the hash value of this book. So initial hash value of this book is this, and after changing something, the hash value is getting this. If you can compare these two, they are completely different. What I am trying to say over here is the second property, any small modification into the data, any small change into the data will result into completely different hash. Okay, and that is called avalanche effect into this domain. Okay, that means any chota sa change will result into completely different hash, and that will not match at any level. Okay, now let's come back to our deal between Mr. Pink and Mr. Green for 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 rupees for one pink coin. So here, Mr. Green wants to change that deal. Now, how blockchain detects that? Just try to understand over here. So Mr. Green is trying to change the deal secretly. He wants to give only 40,000 rupees instead of 50,000 for a single pink coin. So this record will get changed. Hash value of the record will ultimately get changed, and that will impact the complete block. The new block that will come, that will not match with the previous block hash, and that's how from that block the blockchain will get collapse. Hash values of the previous block and the new block will not get matched. So at that point of time, your whole blockchain will collapse. Okay, and from that, you'll not be able to add anything into the blocks. So this I'm giving you to understand this concept in real scenario. It is not happening. It is not the real case. Okay, the change into the data is not possible into the blockchain system. That's why you cannot modify. Yes, you can add, but you cannot update and delete. That's how it works. And this has been shown in this nice pictures. We'll quickly finish that so that we can move ahead for our actual thing. So if we can see this uh, chain of blocks, there are three blocks: one, two, and three. Green, Mr. Yellow, and orange. So as we said, there is a data inside this. If we take a hash of this, for understanding, I kept only first four letters of this hash. So you can see 1Z8F. This is the hash value of this data. If you look at the previous hash, this is the first block in the blockchain. I don't have previous block to this. So what I can do, I will call it as a genesis block, as this is the first block of this blockchain, and I'll put 0000 for this block. Now, whenever I'm talking about the second block is the yellow block. Okay, it has some data inside that. I'll take a hash of that. That is 6BQ1. Okay, I'm taking a hash of that. So 6BQ1. Now, what is the previous block? Previous block, and it's a hash. Previous block to the second is first. So I'll take this hash into this block. So you can see over here 1Z8F. Okay, and similarly for orange block, I'll take a hash of orange block. It will be 3H4Q, and I'll take a hash of a previous block, that is 6BQ1. Now assume this scenario: if someone is trying to tamper this second block, what will happen? The hash value, previous hash value of this block will get changed, and the newly updated hash value is at 62Y, which will not match with the third one, which was previously 6BQ1. And then system itself checks. Whenever I said in the initial definition, the network itself makes a constant checks to assure that whether all the records onto the blocks are consistent or not. Okay, so that's how it will not get matched, and probably the blockchain system will detect that. That's how it works. Now I wanted to give a live demo of this to all of you. That's why what I'll do, I'll stop sharing, and there is a popular application onto internet that is available. Let me share my screen one more time so that you guys can see that. I hope you can see my Mozilla Firefox. So let me give you Anders blockchain demo. You guys, if you are interested, you can also do a search, and you will be able to see the first link, Anders Brownworth demo. This is a popular demo to understand the blockchain. You can convey it to a student as well. So on the first side, you can see how the hashing works. Okay, so in real life, we need to provide input data to this mathematical function. So they have designed a user experience, but beside this, there is a mathematical function working for us for this data. So whenever I am putting anything into this, just observe that the hash value, this bottom line, is getting changed. Now just observe that I am adding a single dot into this. The hash value of this is getting completely changed. That's the beauty of the hashing value. So the first property says sorry, third property says if any modification alteration that you are doing into this, the hash value will result a completely different. Okay, so that's how it will work. The first property says irrespective of the data size, even I am entering a lot of data into this continuously, if you can see the and observe the length of this is 256 bit only. It is constant. So based on algorithm, either it will be 128 or 256 or something like that. Okay, it will not go beyond that. That is the importance of the first property. And what third property is, for a specific input. For example, I am giving a input Zawle sir. Okay, so it will always give you the output 454CF. Okay, again I am repeating 454CF, starting with this. So at any point of time, whenever I'll input this string, it will generate the same output. What last property says, for a given input, it will give you the same output always. Now just think of the application side. There are tremendous applications of this cryptographic primitive in your digital world. There are so many. The very quick application that I can see is your password matching. How the password matching happens at server send. Do you know that? So it basically works on the hashing. So suppose I'm a developer, I'm designing any website where I'm creating a database and storing my username and passwords, credentials. If I'm storing my passwords in a plain text, what will happen? And if any attacker will get the access to that, probably they will be able to see and understand that, and they will use that for further processes, right? So what I can do, I can use this hash values. Once they are applied, hash values will get stored into the database. The interesting property that I haven't talked about is you cannot regenerate your input from the output. That means you cannot generate Zawlesser. You cannot generate a input data by looking at the output. That is the interesting thing. That is one way. Okay. So like your encryption decryption happens, what happens whenever you have a private keys, you can decrypt your data and you can see that data again. But in this scenario, we can't see the input. We can't guess the input by looking at the output. But as I said, whenever I'm giving a Zawlaser every time, so whenever I'll put my password, for example, password every time, it will give you same hash. It will go to the database, it will match them, and it will give you access to the system. That's how the current password matching is happening. Okay, coming to our discussion, this is the example of block that you can see. This is the block number. Nonce means number only used once. It's a 72,608 right now, and here I can put my data. So you can just uh, do the imagination, and you can put any data into this, and accordingly the hash value will change. Once I'll click on mine, it will get mined. So what this mining is, this mining is completely different than your data mining and the mining from KGF that is there, right? So that was physical mining. This data mining is specifically gathering or figuring out some meaningful information out of the data, and this mining is completely different, and that meaning is generation of new cryptocurrencies and making this transaction happen. Okay, so that's how it works. Now collecting such a blocks with each other generates a chain, and that's why we are calling it as a blockchain, right? So if you observe this, there are three blocks into this. Okay, where you can input the data. We have a previous hash. As this is the genesis block, you can see all zeros into this and the hash of this block, hash of this data. If you look at the second block, you can see the previous block hash is also stored. It is 0000015. You can observe this over here. Similarly for third and so on. So each new block is taking the hash of a previous block. And now we have studied the properties of a hashing function. And that's how all four properties preserve the chain. They are not breakable. If anyone tries to tamper that, probably it will get detected. That's how it will work. Okay. So let me stop that. I hope you got the point what I'm trying to convey about the blockchain is. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Now let me take a pause and ask you: do you have any questions till now? So this was the basic introduction of how this blockchain technology is and how they work and what are the components of those. Now we are going to see how it will get used into the ammunition management, and this is the crux area of the defense in the current scenario. So, any questions that you have onto the previous slides that we have seen? Anybody? Otherwise, we will move ahead. Yes. No. Okay. Let's move ahead. Now, I wanted to explore how the ammunition, how blockchain technology is getting used into this ammunition management. And for that matter, let's try to understand what it is. So, ammunition management involves production, storage, distribution, and handling of ammunition to ensure readiness, safety, and security in simple words. Okay, what I'm saying, production, storage, distribution, and handling of those ammunition to ensure all these properties like security, safety, readiness, everything whenever they require. So by definition, it is a system designed to help military or army or law enforcements to efficiently track, monitor, and manage the ammunition, okay, throughout its life cycle. Okay, that we are going to understand. Now, whenever we are saying it, what it means, what is the purpose behind that? The main goal of this AMS is to ensure the right ammunition is available when and where it's needed, while also maintaining its safety and accountability. So keeping track of all types of ammunition, knowing how much is available, where it is stored, and its condition, preventing waste, thefts, or loss of ammunition, ensuring compliance with safety and legal regulations. All of these are important. Now, what are the key features of this? So, first thing that probably comes to your mind is inventory tracking. The system records how much ammunition is stored or issued or used. Okay, it keeps track of quantities like 500 bullets, 100 grenades, type of ammunition like small arms, explosives, artillery, shells, and where they are stored, like locations, whether they are in warehouses, whether in armories, or like the field units, or where they are actually got stored. Okay, so everything is recorded into inventories. Many modern AMSs uses the RFID. This is old technology, or barcodes to monitor the ammunition movements in real time. And this reduces the human error and improves the accuracy. So every piece of animation in the current, like Indian, if you look at Indian Army, has the expiration date or a period after which it may not function reliably. So what AMS helps? AMS helps in manufacturing, tracking the manufacturing dates, storage conditions like temperature, the humidity, expiration dates to ensure unsafe ammunition is not used or something like that. And then finally, issuing of and usage of that. Okay, the system tracks who is used specific ammunition and how much is used. For example, a soldier is issued 30 rounds for training. After training, unused rounds are returned and the system updates the stock. Now, what I'm trying to say over here is the current system is manual. The current system is with some automation like ERP and some digitization, not better than that. So safety and security is the major concern into this. Okay, so stock levels, usage patterns, budget planning, everything is lacking over here. Okay, so how it works right now? Data entry, ammunition details are entered into the system either manually or through automated tools like scanners or the ERP systems, and the storage and movement is happening. Okay, but here if you can see, the major thing that lacking is safety, security, accountability, efficiency, okay, and probably regulatory compliance that are there. Okay, so all of these are actually lagging in this area, and that's how blockchain enabled AMS is required in the Indian uh, army, and that's how in one of the release of the notification they gave us this problem statement: how ammunition management system can be integrated with the help of blockchain so that it can be secured and we can take a maximum benefits of that. So the current challenges, if you look at overall, okay, they are like inventory inaccuracies, like record showing mismatch quantities leading to confusion about actual stock levels during some critical missions. Okay, or some people are getting unauthorized access to the data, or like, tampering to that, or inefficient tracking and delays in supply chain process. All of these are the important thing to understand, and that's why there is a need of transformation. There is a need of security, checking the security vulnerabilities that are there, and work on those and make a transparent and accountable system for those. So, what are the key stakeholders into this? Try to understand. So, first thing that you can see onto the screen, of course, armed forces. The armed forces are primarily consumers and end users of ammunition. Their role in ammunition management is like multifold. They are using for operational requirements like determine the types, quantities, specifications of ammunition needed for different operations. They provide critical feedback on performance, their efficacy. They store and handle those ammunition. Inventory management is happening over there. Safety protocols are getting applied to make this happen. Okay, so identifying ammunitions needs, storing them, safeguarding them, ensuring inventory accuracy, and ensuring operational readiness is the key functions of this armed forces. Now, the second key stakeholder is ammunition manufacturers, those who actually manufacture this. So, in India, major manufacturers include the ordnance factory boards and some of the private sector companies involved in the defense industry, like Bharat Forge and so all of these guys are actually manufacturing and making the production of these ammunition and making a supply chain of that. The third important key stakeholder is ordnance. So Ordnance Factory Board under Ministry of Defense plays a central role in production, the large scale ammunition production, maintaining and keeping those, research and developing new ammunitions and their types, and giving training and support to all their soldiers. Okay, so mass production, maintenance, and all of these are coming under this team. And the fourth very important is logistics. So logistics teams are the backbone of ammunition transportation and distribution. The role is to ensure ammunition reaches the armed forces in time for both routine as well as in the emergency operations. Okay, so just take a scenario. You are on the you are in the firing and you need some ammunitions and you don't know about how much stock is and something like that. Okay, so that can happen. So all of these can be tracked by these teams. Okay, and that's how they will work. So current ammunition management system, as I said, they are manual in nature. They are dependent on human accuracy, right? Manual record keeping relies heavily on human efforts and accuracy, and each transaction, whether it's issuing or receiving, is happening manually and or probably on the ERP systems as well. Okay, so we have enterprise resource planning systems. They are getting utilized in the current scenario. What are the drawbacks of those? Systems operate in silos with limited integration. They are challenging in scaling to all stakeholders. Their lack of comprehensive life cycle tracking. So all of these are drawbacks of this system. So with this, if you can observe this system, okay, there are limitations, and that limitations are these: fragmentation, lack of centralized and unified platform, a significant challenge. So stakeholders like armed force, ordnance factories, and logistic teams use separate systems with minimal or no integration. That is the thing. So communication gaps are happening, operational inefficiencies are happening due to this. Okay. Second important point that I want to highlight, and that is very crucial, is data security. Data security is another pressing concern. So with ERP system provide a digital platform, they lack like advanced encryption or decryption mechanisms, and leaving them vulnerable to cyber attacks. So unauthorized access can happen, and that's how implication of breaches may be there in such a system. Of course, lack of real tracking. So I'll leave these limitation because I want to show you some of the important points, how we can actually build a blockchain enabled system, which will be the critical part of this. So what we can do, we can actually create a system, the implementation plan for Indian Army, or for the sake any army, to build a blockchain based secure ammunition tracking system. As this technology offers a decentralized and secure solution to overcome the challenges of ammunition management that we discussed right now, okay, by creating a transparent and tamper proof environment. So how we can do this? Let's try to understand this with lot of technology that are involved. So it's an integration not only from the security point of view, but we need the IoT side, we need the blockchain side, we need the digitization of everything is needed. Okay, so IoT devices like sensors, GPS trackers, RFID tags can be integrated with ammunition storage and the transport containers. So these devices provide real-time data and upload it on the blockchain. IoT sensors continuously monitor parameters such as location, temperature, humidity, and whether the ammunition box has been opened or tampered with or not. And data has been recorded in the real time accurately, and that can be used. Okay, so real time tracking is important. Second important things is smart contracts. Now, I hope you guys are aware of what contracts are that we do in our a lot of things. For example, I want to rent a flat for some period of time. Probably I'll make a contract. That contract is actually physically available where we are utilizing government bonds and 100 and 500 rupees stamps to write some terms and conditions onto that and utilizing that. But what smart contracts are? They are smart in nature. They are digitally made, and they can execute once the certain conditions are met. What it means, whenever a particular event will occur, whenever we will assume that a scenario where you are on a firing stage and you don't have any ammunition, for example bullets, earlier it was 50,000 and right now you have only 5,000 with you. So what it will do, automatically the contract will executed. If my bullets are getting below 5,000, probably it will put a notification into smart contract, it will get executed, and automatically supply chain will happen. Okay, so that's the usability of uh, smart contracts and into the blockchain domain. Smart contract actually triggers specific actions when certain conditions are met. For instance, if an ammunition batch crosses its scheduled inspection date, the smart contract automatically notifies the maintenance team and creates a maintenance schedule for that. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, I don't know you have heard, artillery shell is due for a quality check in 30 days. So when the due date approaches, the smart contract sends automated notification to the logistic and maintenance teams if the inspection is not completed within the stipulated time. That's the benefit. The third important thing, how this can happen. Now you will say, Sagar sir, you are talking about the digitization of all of these. So what is the use of blockchain over here? If you can see the distributed ledger, it actually adapts the nature of all the algorithms that are there. So whenever I'm saying it is a decentralized and distributed technology, okay, it operates on the distributed ledger, providing a single source of truth accessible to all the stakeholders, including army units, including manufacturers, logistic teams, and all the maintenance personnel, whatever they are. So every transaction or update related to ammunition, for example, manufacturing or transportation or maintenance, is recorded onto the blockchain. This creates a transparent record that all authorized stakeholders can access. Okay, let me give you example. If you can consider the logistic team updates the blockchain when a batch of ammunition is transported from a central depot to the forward base. So this update is visible to all the relevant parties, including the receiving unit, which can prepare for the consignment arrival. Okay, so and all of these is happening mainly securely. Okay, so that's the beauty of this. Okay, so with this, if you can see, there are a bunch of advantages. It will increase the security of the system. It will track the real-time movement of the ammunition. Of course, it will track the life cycle of the whole ammunition. It will give you transparency into the system, and yes, it is cost effective than the other solutions out there. That's the benefits of using this technology. And coming to the last point of this, so yes, Indian Army is taking steps towards building a blockchain based um, system which can be adopted into the ammunition management part, and they are trying to build such a thing. Of course, there are some challenges. The high initial cost for the blockchain setups, training, as there are limited awareness of this technology in the defense as well as the corporate. So a lot of things are challenging, but eventually we need to take the challenge and go ahead and do a good amount of research and build a good app which can be useful. So if you look at take a proper mitigation strategies, starting with the pilot projects and utilizing that for a future prospect, like a potential developing a potential for integrating AI with blockchain for predictive analytics and something like that. This will be a good future work for this area. So that's how my presentation was. Now I am done with my presentation. If you have any questions, you can please go ahead. Now the forum is open for
Hello.
questions. Yeah, Gopinath.
This ledger and records are sitting over any ERP and SCADA systems, or they are
No.
independently
No. So
working?
whenever
Because-
I'm understood your question.
Yeah.
Now, whenever we are seeing this ledgers, they are distributed in nature. They are not specifically made for ERP kind of system. Okay, they are built upon the nodes. These nodes are actually building the consensus amongst them to make this transaction happen. The examples of transaction that we have seen, and it actually give you all the tracking information of your ammunition. So it is not sticking to specific ERPs. They are not deployed on any ERP or SCADA. On top of this, we can build our own application like ERP, which can be useful. Or I can say your ERP can be integrated with the blockchain system that will get developed and that can be used. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, okay. Why I'm asking is that because you have to get in touch with all the other manufacturers. So
Yes.
they are basically in ERP systems, and so that's why you can avoid some paper
Correct.
approvals and all those things.
Agreed.
So that is the
Yeah. So at one side, we are digitalizing the thing. That is one thing. But apart from that, we are getting a security from the blockchain as an inherent features of blockchain comes up with security. We are taking that for help. And on top of that, if we apply some AI ML model, probably it will give you a good analysis as well. That's how, with integration of all of these, will give you a good AMS for Indian Army.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any
Sir,
other question? Yeah.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Can we use same blockchain supply management chain for any company work, or it is only with the defense because there the security concern is there?
No, it's not like that. We can build a supply chain with the help of blockchain for any kind of system. Let's take
Okay.
example of your medical equipments or medical material that is available. If you want to track that, of course, we can use the blockchain system. Let's take example of your agricultural. The food is coming from various stations, and it is there are intermediate nodes through which they are coming. So if you want to track all of these, we can of course integrate this technology in number of domains. So what I'm trying to say through my stories as well, the systems, the processes where a lot of people are there, the stakeholders are there, and trust is required into the system. So at that point of time, probably this will require. Let me give you a very good example. Suppose our amba, mango, that is coming from Ratnagiri, right? We generally call hapus Ratnagiri ka bahut acha hota hai.
Yes, sir.
How you
Yes,
can ensure that ki Pune's reached mango is actually a Ratnagiri's mango and not other place mango? How we can ensure? Is there any system to do that? No. Right now we don't have. So what people are trying to do, people are trying to explore this chain as well, supply chain as well, where they are trying to take the ingredients of mangoes through IoT devices. They are trying to store that, and they are validating those, verifying those values at receiver's end. That's how they are tracking all of these. So there are a bunch of areas where it can be used, and not only for the defense ammunition tracking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sir, during your presentation, you while showing the blockchain system, you said that we can upgrade the blockchain, but we cannot modify the blockchain. So
No.
what exactly it means?
No, I said we can add the block into the blockchain, meaning of but we cannot update and delete. So upgrade, meaning if you are saying if you are growing your blockchain, that's correct. We can do that. The meaning of that is once you add anything onto the blockchain, we cannot delete, update, modify that. There is no possibility of that. Even if you want to do something else, you need to create a new block and put something into it. So that's the meaning of that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for very nice presentation and explanation.
Welcome, sir.
Participants, if anyone have any more questions, please you may ask. I think there are no questions, so I declare end of the session one. Thank you so much, Dr. Sagar Rane, for the informative session. Dear participants, we'll start the session two sharp at 6 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Professor. Good evening.
Yeah, so we have given 2 minutes break. We will start sharp at 6 p.m.
Okay. Can I
Yeah.
check the presentation till then?
Yeah. Please share your presentation.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Presentation.
Yes, sir. Just make it in presentation mode. Yeah, that's great.
Should
We'll
I
start.
leave it like this only?
Yeah, you can leave it. No problem.
Good evening, Khadsare sir. This is Dr. Sita Yadav from AIT. Should we start, sir?
Yes, please, we can.
Yeah. Good evening, all the participants for session two of today's 6th day of faculty development program. So, for session two, we have among us Lieutenant Colonel Santosh Khadsare sir, Chief Technology Officer, DFIR. Adsys Tools boast over 25 years of extensive experience in cybersecurity, and DFIR is specializing in digital forensics, cyber laws, information security, cyber audit, and incident responses. He is renowned in the digital forensic community for his expertise, skill set, and mentorship qualities. Lieutenant Colonel Santosh Khadsare is an army veteran with 23 years of service. He has also he also has an international exposure in training LEAs of other countries. He has been a member of CII task force on cybersecurity for the year 1920 and 2021. Additionally, he has served as a member of Computer Hacking Forensic Investigator Scheme Committee of EC Council for past 4 years. He has also received various awards, appreciation for India from Indian Army, NIA, CERT. Lieutenant Colonel Khadsare has authored numerous articles on information security and digital forensics in both national and international publication. I request sir to please start with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sita ma'am. And well, I'd like to welcome all of you, all those who are attending this FDP program. It is again honor to speak at this elite program. Today, I have been asked to discuss or interact with you on indigenous digital forensic tools for defense and what are the advantages of having these indigenous digital forensic tools. Firstly, I know it's evening and it's time to wrap up. Everyone must be having some work to do at their places. But since this FDP program is scheduled in such a way, I would like to make it more interactive and interesting for you. So today what we'll be discussing is that yes, digital forensics is a niche field. There are many, you can say, many people working in this field for now decades, but it's the, you can say, the newest baby on the block, that is in forensic science, which is a very old science in itself. Digital forensics is the newest baby and it's hardly 30 plus years old. So only after internet proliferation and IT proliferation happened that crime started happening and digital forensics came into being. And incident response also is one of the fields. Means it's a incident response is a ability to attend to incidents which are happening in the cyber domain and to make your system resilient. That is, address the issues and take the systems online back so that the work begins. DFIR is taken in single breath because digital forensics is a part of incident response. And with this around 2.5 decades of my experience, I've mostly been working on ground and doing cases for various law enforcement agencies and even for the government as such, means the ministry level also. And at present, I'm in the corporate and heading as a CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Systool Technologies in Pune. So this is a journey because this someone had to come, someone has to come and also do the tool development part. It's not only the government which is supposed to do or should do it. So the corporate has to pitch in. If you see nowadays, due to the proliferation of technology and cheapness of assets, everyone has phones, laptops, gadgets, tablets in their house. Everyone has a Wi-Fi, you can say a router, and they are in every house. You'll find more than 8 to 10 digital assets which are connected. So the crimes have also increased. If you see nowadays, there are a lot of cases regarding crimes. Latest crimes are related to digital arrest, ransomware attacks, then email threats, where in corporates we call it business email compromises, and so on and so. Financial frauds are ongoing and they are becoming more complex day by day. And the law enforcement, that is the police or any other law enforcement agency, is trying to curb this, and so is the government. In that particular line, everyone you see is, especially the end user or the citizens of the country, are losing a lot of money, money in this kinds of financial frauds. And to address this issue, there are a lot of government initiatives also being run by the government, whether it's I4C, Cybercrime Portal, Dial 1930. In Maharashtra, there are many other programs which are run by the state government also. So what are we against? I've just put a clipping. I just wanted to address to start with, so that we get into that indigenous tool development thing. There, in this month itself, there were so many bomb threats which came on email or through other mechanism. If you see a New York bound Air India flight was targeted, or there was an alert on that particular case. Even the RBI itself got email threats, and today also I was solving a case related to a threat which came, and investigation was required. In some cases, in some cases you have good tools globally, and of course they do very well. But those particular countries or governments do not want to share their tools with you. In that case, you don't have access to it, and even if you have access after certain time, they are outdated. So this is one of the key reasons. One of the key reasons what I'm trying to say here is for also addressing or looking that we have our own indigenous, you can say, forensic tools, not only for the defense but also for each and every law enforcement and for the citizen in common. So our topic for discussion today will revolve around this. So as I mentioned to you, especially in the corporate, there are a lot of email compromises, spear phishing attacks, and there are tools which are available. But foreign tools also, I'll be discussing that they have a lot many advantages and disadvantages, but disadvantages are more than the advantages. And the everyday newspaper, if you read in Pune Times also, or if you see in any Times of India or Indian Express or Deccan Herald or anything, you find a separate page nowadays coming for the cyber crimes and the effects of cyber crimes. And in Sunday editions, you have lot of full pagers regarding how to address crimes, how to address technologies, how to imbibe technology. So this is how much importance everyone is giving to this particular field. Okay, let me start with a case study, which I would like to tell you, so you'll understand the importance of forensics or DFIR and the importance of tools, technologies, and in this particular field. Every one of us has a mobile, right? And everyone uses various applications, uncommon applications. You have a calendar app, you have, say, a calculator app. Okay, so in this case, I'll be telling you about a calculator app. Sorry, I've written a calendar app, but calculator app. So this case is about how we do application forensics. Now, forensics has various fields or various sub branches in itself, which I will come to later. So there was a phone, a Panasonic make model phone, and what we were told that it was used to carry out some anti-national activities on social media. Okay, and now